friends, come on in, take your shoes off, have a seat, and consider staying a while by clicking that subscribe button. So I was just out in our stockpile deciding what I wanted to eat today, and I noticed that we had potatoes and pasta, and immediately the poor man's meal popped into my head, and sweet little Clara.
I'm Clara. I'm 91 years old. Today we are making meals from the Depression.
If you've never heard of Great Depression cooking here on YouTube, you need to go check her channel out. She's the cutest little old lady. Unfortunately, she has passed away, but her grandchildren had the wonderful idea to film her and her recipes. Clara grew up in the Great Depression. She was from an Italian family, and despite them not having a ton of money, her mother did an amazing job cooking throughout the Great Depression using very minimal ingredients and passed that along to Clara. Clara taught her grandchildren, and her grandson wanted to make sure that he had these recipes on videos, and he was kind enough to share it with all of us. Growing up, I didn't really have any grandparents involved with me, so watching Clara makes me feel like I have like a virtual grandma, and even though she's passed away, I go and visit her videos frequently, especially right now with the way the economy is. She makes delicious recipes out of pretty much nothing. For lunch today, I am going to be making her poor man's meal.
It has potatoes and hot dogs because they were cheaper, so we got the hot dogs. Made up that name, poor man's meal. We should have called it the Depression meal.
All we need for this recipe is a few potatoes, a couple hot dogs, some onion that I already have chopped up, and some olive oil. In Clara's recipe, she uses her mother's homemade red pasta sauce. However, I actually like ketchup on this particular recipe for me. We've made this a few times, and that's what I'm going to be using, but I think either works amazing. All right, her first step is to peel the potatoes, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Her next step is to dice the potatoes and put them in a frying skillet. Put your onion in. We had this left over from dinner the other night, so I'm just gonna use this. She cut hers a lot thinner. Mine we used for hamburgers, so they're not gonna be as thin of chunks, but it'll do.
I'm putting the onion in the potatoes.
And then she said to use for your own judgment how much olive oil to use. So I'm just gonna put in a generous share.
Just judge by yourself how much oil you need. If it runs out of oil, you put a little more, but in this case, we don't know yet.
And then I'm gonna pop this on the stove and get these potatoes frying. We are gonna cut up our hot dogs.
It all depends how many potatoes you got. I think about 4 is enough for this amount of potatoes.
Clara commented that her family ate a lot of hot dogs because they were cheap. You know, it gave them a protein source. I was just at our Save-A-Lot the other day, and hot dogs were, for a package of them, were for 99 cents. So that's pretty good. Could feed your family for a meal or two depending on how big, you know, your family is. But we do keep, I don't know, a lot of people don't count your freezer space as your stockpile, but we do stock items in our freezer. We stock up on things, and I count it as that. And hot dogs are one of the things that we do stock up on. Not only because they're cheap, but we like hot dogs. So now that our potatoes are nice and golden, Claire is set to add in the hot dog.
Let it cook for a few minutes and they're almost ready to eat.
So in Claire's recipe, like I said, she uses her mother's homemade red pasta sauce. So she would put this in now and kind of make like a nice sauce for the meal.
A couple of tablespoons of sauce in here.
But I actually, like I said, I just like using ketchup, and I will put this in a bowl and just put the ketchup on top. So that's what I'm going to do now. But just know that you can pretty much add any sauce you wanted to this. It just depends on which way you're going to make it.
It has potatoes and hot dogs, so that's about it. There's not much to it.
Seriously, it is so good. I can't even describe to you how much I'm so ready to eat this right now. And it's also so filling. It keeps me full. I won't have to like snack or anything for the rest of the day. And it's really cheap. It can be made for a few bucks. All of these reasons are why it has become one of the staple stockpile meals that we keep on hand at all times. Again, if you have not checked out the Great Depression Cooking, Claire's channel, please go check it out. She's the cutest little thing ever, and I know you'll just fall in love with her, and she has a lot of good, cheap recipes. As always, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up. It's free, it only takes a second, and it really helps my channel out, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye!